It's probably bad.
Yeah, don't do that.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 3 of Deep Dive. I'm your host, Dave Charo, here in Drake, Massachusetts. Long Pond Studios, located in my basement. I'm here with Pulitzer prize fighter, the best damn harmonies in Boston local music.
Sick. Thank you.
Guys, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Good. How are you, Dave? Great to be here.
Yeah. Doing great. You know, I was going to wear my suit and tie like I did last time, but then Mother Nature decided it was going to be 95 fucking degrees today.
Yes.
Yeah, right. So I said, no, t-shirt, somewhat low-cut V.
I don't know. That's a high V.
Is this a high V?
It's a high V.
It's not deep at all.
All right.
It's not a low V.
I'm not into fashion, guys.
Dave, you're a prude. You're a prude with that low V.
So, guys, how long have you guys been a band? How long have you guys been a band together?
I haven't been in it the whole time.
So things were a little weird at the beginning, but then Pat joined in, and things have been better since.
When was the beginning? The
beginning. Oh Christ! I've been playing with our drummer Ryan for 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah, I've been playing with him for 10 years, unfortunately. And it's been
he's not here. He can't defend himself.
But no. Yeah, we've been playing together in different iterations for 10 years. And we played with our friend Dave for a while, who's playing keyboards. Colin, who's our lead guitar player, came into the mix probably in 2010. I'd say 20.
It's tough because we have Colin McDonald, and then our guitarist is Colin MacDougall.
Yeah, I saw this on your Bandcamp, and I went, ooh.
Yeah, it's funny because a lot of the things that get said about us is he is called. Things that get said about us is Colin MacDougall like kills it on vocals, and he'll share things like, yeah, I really did kill it.
But that was in 20. I'd say he joined in 2010. Then we played for a while with Dave, our keyboard player, and then Dave parted ways because he went to go play with his band Noble Dust, and they're doing very well. They're based out of Somerville, and Pat joined in 2014, early 2014, I think. Yeah, like probably spring of 2014, and then things just kind of started happening from there.
Nice. And you guys just played the Rumble?
We did just play the Rumble. Yeah, it was a really fun experience. Once Ballroom has gotten severely better.
Yeah, it sounds really good.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, obviously TT's wasn't around this time around. Rest in peace.
Yeah, which is a huge bummer because TT's was the shit.
Yeah,
like that place was awesome.
That place smelled like Boston local music.
Yeah, exactly.
And the sound was always loud as fuck, and it was like, and you could go in there and you could really leave it all out on the table. Yeah. And I truly miss TT's, but Once is cool too.
Once is cool too. It's having its day, I would say. But no, it was a really good experience. Really like huge crowd of people that. I mean, one of the things that I loved about it was a lot of people that I didn't know that not necessarily, and a lot of them necessarily didn't even know the bands that were playing. They were just it's one of those things where it's people come out to hear Boston's music, which is great.
Yeah,
it's great. It's great to see.
It's fantastic that it's still going on, and obviously thank you, Angel, for putting it together every single year and keeping it going. Because you're right, it's sort of a hub for Boston local music where. Once a year, a bunch of people that don't know most of the bands that are playing buy passes for the whole thing, and they show up, and it's packed. So bands like you get to play in front of a bigger crowd than you used to. My band, the OK Wind, played there a few years back, and we had a great experience too. We also didn't make it past the first round, but that really wasn't the important part about it.
Ditto. Fucking ditto.
The important part was just simply making it there, because when you get in to the Rumble, that's a different echelon of Boston bands.
I would agree.
So
playing O'Brien's.
Yeah,
I love O'Brien's.
See, I like O'Brien's.
There's something about O'Brien's when you're the drummer in O'Brien's and you're just in that corner.
Yeah.
You can't hear anything. You're like, I guess it's going well. I have no idea. I'm stuck in a corner.
That's what Ryan says after every show there.
You know, normally though, it does go well.
It does go well.
It goes
O'Brien's
great.
is a fun spot. It's I love it.
That's the sweatiest venue you're ever going to play is O'Brien's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than, I don't know about Cantab. Cantab's a little sweatier.
Oh man, Cantab. The
Yeah.
first time we played Cantab.
yeah, it's
First
like-
time we played Cantab, the dude showed up an hour late and opened the door, and I'd never been there before, and literally it smelled like cabbage.
It was a urinal
bad.
cake of a venue.
It was rough.
The Cantab is like if the VFW opened up on the Black Pearl from Pirates of the Caribbean. It's like a blend of a pirate ship and a VFW.
That's absolutely true.
It's
Our sound guy fell asleep during our set, which
Shout
is
out,
tough.
Shout out Mickey Bliss.
Mickey Bliss, R.I.P.
R.I.P.
I don't know.
He's still alive, man.
I thought he was in my during the set.
He's kicking around.
So when I was looking through some bands to invite in for the show, first of all I saw you guys on the Rumble, so I kind of went through that list. But also when I listened to your music, I said it's a very rare thing for me to say, man, this band sounds a little bit like something corporate, something like Minus the Bear. It's got a little bit of Coheed and Cambria in there, and also a little bit of Bare Naked Ladies, to be honest. So I said,
BNL, baby.
I gotta ask these guys to be in, and I'm really happy you guys came. So,
we came, Dave.
We came
all the way from Weymouth. This is actually not a very short drive. So,
No. Well worth it.
We got to drive through Lowell. We got to see Lowell at noon on a Friday.
Yep. It was.
It was.
you roll the windows up.
It was riveting.
No, man, it was cool. It was cool. It's
No,
just
it's
like
94 degrees.
it was
Yeah,
hot.
that's true. Yeah. So, nice thing about this show is, if you don't know the format, I get to pick one song from their catalog, and they get to pick one song from their catalog, and then we also have you do a cover. And we like to talk about the specific songs and get into the songs. That's why we call it Deep Dive. So my choice for song for you guys was a song Red and Green. This is off your first album as this kind of
This
group here.
iteration, yeah.
Really love this song. It opens up with this cool little bossa nova stereo panning guitar thing going on, which I really appreciated wearing my headphones.
It's all this guy.
And it progressively gets heavier and heavier and heavier, and you do that wonderful loud, soft, loud thing that I think is kind of a staple of a lot of local Boston bands.
Boston rock.
So talk to me about this song. What's some of the process behind it? What's the song about?
So the initial intent was me and our guitarist Colin famously drove a red Subaru and a green Chevy Cavalier, and that was where it started. It started with the chorus, and it kind of just went from there. It
started with the chorus.
It started with the chorus. Yeah,
That's the hardest part of the song for me.
It just came out. It came out pretty naturally. Well, honestly, we're just trying to get that Subaru endorsement, if we could. So Ernie Bach, I know
Ernie
you're
Bach.
listening.
Ernie Bach,
Get
what
that
up?
Subaru money.
But no,
That's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Subaru. Our song's better though. Whoever.
But could
wrote
it sell cars? I don't know.
I think it could sell cars. I'd buy a car. So yeah, the initial intent of the song, I guess the general idea was, our guitarist, our drummer, and me were all working in this restaurant. Our guitarist was a bartender. And this one summer we had this influx of new people from all over the place, and there was this one girl that started working there, who our guitarist Colin really bonded with. They really hit it off, probably because they had in some aspects the exact same personality, just very very out there, very extroverted. But they it is the nice way to put that.
Fair enough.
Something going on. I don't know about it.
So, but yeah, they really hit it off. They both were in relationships at the time, but were flirting in the biggest way possible. Like everybody who saw them knew that, or at least thought something was going to happen, something was going to come out of it. And after a while, he wanted something more out of it, I would say. And when he approached her about it, when he kind of decided, I'm gonna just put it out there and decide that this is something that I want, she slammed on the brakes and kind of stopped all that kind of contact with him, and it was just this big wreckage after he decided to kind of lay himself bare in that sense, I guess. So the song came out of the idea of wanting something more from our relationship and broaching that subject, and then being met with hesitance and frustration, and eventually just the severing of all ties, and the like emotional consequences that would come from something like that.
Wow, so it was like a young teen movie, except with a very real ending.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't, I don't. That sounds cliche. I guess it is kind of cliche, but
it's not cliche. See, I always thought it was just about two people fucking in the back of a Subaru.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It's the first place you go.
Yeah,
that's cool too. I'm down.
That's it, and a Chevy and a Cavalier.
Such a cramped.
I know, it was such a good car
arrangement.
Yeah, it was a year younger.
I could not make that work.
It was an awful vehicle. But
let's deeply discuss the mechanics of this.
But yeah, that was how that song came up, and it was like one of the first songs that I played with the band that just really came together. I think in like one practice we had the full arrangement done, and it was this really organic thing that came out of nowhere, and we were just like, all right, well, that's our song now.
That's amazing to me, because the chorus has this wonderful call and answer thing going on, whereas one person ends a line, the next person comes right in with it, and you guys do that really well in the performance here too.
Yeah, I was really into.
It just happened like that.
That's how he thinks. Anyway.
I listen to a lot of like early Taking Back Sunday and Brand New, and they do a lot of call and response, a lot of like two vocalist thing, which I really like. I think that it lends itself to better melodies, better access to harmonies and things like that, and I really dig writing like that. So that was my introduction to the band as someone who really likes to do that.
Yeah.
So,
How long did it take you guys to realize that your voices blended so well? Was that an immediate thing, or was there an aha moment where you said, "Oh shit, we have to take advantage of this"?
It was
because you do it a lot in your music, and you should, because your voices blend beautifully together. And
I think that's more of a call thing than a me thing, because when I sing, the band, we have kind of come to this conclusion that when I sing, I bark like a dog. I like it's just sudden.
It's not much dynamic restraints occurring.
It's like here or like fucking here.
But that's cool though.
But Call is really good at impressions, and like a true singer, he has a really good control of his voice, I would say, and can. I don't like you as a person. I just
that's
like
cool. I know that.
But I think he does a really good job of like kind of I guess I would say like smoothing over what I do, because my vocals are a little sharp, and I think the way that he controls his voice to match mine kind of gives it a little roundedness. Which
Carl, you do that rare thing where you have a fantastic control of your falsetto.
Oh,
like a lot of people can't really control falsetto.
It's not even falsetto, really. It's just like.
I just have this head voice that I just kind of it just sounds a little raspier.
It's crazy.
That's just it.
It's when we played the Middle East Downstairs. He hit this one note in movies, or one of our songs we do. That's I don't even know what note it is. It's high up there. It's like it's tough for me to hit falsetto, and he hit it spot on. The speakers and our monitors were shaking, and this entire crowd just goes ballistic. There's videos on YouTube of people just going like, "Oh my god!"
How did he just do that?
Yeah, and it's this crazy thing that.
You ever see that bad movie with Mark Wahlberg, Rockstar?
Yes.
No, I have not seen that.
Oh man, that's fucking awful movie, Mark. If you're watching this, dog, that movie blows, man.
It blows
that
ass.
movie blows, but that's
cool.
A lot of pussy.
You got to make your rock stars and your The Happenings and your like every other movie that he's been in to get your Departed.
That's true. You know, M. Night Shyamalan, you fell off, homie.
Yeah.
No, man, he's back.
Back with what?
Split.
Oh, right.
Movie's fantastic.
Split. I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, the movie's great.
Oh,
okay.
Man.
All right, he's back, baby.
Twist at the end?
Yeah, I'm not going to say it. This isn't a spoiler cast of the movie Split.
Spoiler cast.
Still, but I would agree with Patrick's contention. No, I think the thing is that we both want to sing.
Yeah.
And it was like, and we
can
both
either fight about it,
or we can do it both sing at the
together.
very same time, and we can harmonize and do it really quickly and really easily, and we both want to sing, and and it ends up really working out.
It doesn't always work out on stage, because I feel like we're glued to the mics, because I feel like
it's tough.
We sing more than most singers,
bands.
most bands.
Yeah.
which is kind of
So
kind
the
of left on the other
optics,
three.
the optics are they generally come out pretty lame because it's just like we're just like stuck to this thing
Constantly
you know. And
Yeah, you
because
can't
we're
really
all-
move around too much.
No, there's no there's no sections where we just let loose.
You got to have your Mighty Mighty Boss Stones dancer.
Yeah,
We need dancing guy. Yeah, I actually saw Mighty Mighty Boss Tones at TT's right before they closed.
Ooh.
That's right. They played the last show over there, right?
It was incredible. I was hammer drunk, and it was
When
great.
you see a band of that caliber in a stage that you've played, you look at the band, and you go, "Oh shit, no, they're really good." Like there's something about being a good band, you know.
And you know what blows my mind is that they have 4 more members than we do, and we had trouble fitting on that stage, and they stuck up there, and like they all had like elbow room, and they were all like moving around and like
And there was
dancing
still this
and
huge
shit.
energy. Yeah.
And I was like,
crazy.
what is how do they fit? They have full horns, crazy man. Still,
Right. So, talk to me a little bit about the recording process of this song. Particularly, my favorite part of this song is during the bridge, you sing the chorus again. But you have this like super close vocal, and there's 4 parts, correct?
Yeah, yeah, I would say. I think there's two. There's
2, but you pan them in such a way that it feels like there's 4 voices. Yeah.
This is a mixed question. This is I just do the I do what he tells me. to
the
do.
answer is that it was utter chaos. It was utter chaos,
and out of that chaos.
and out of that chaos came something cool, and that's pretty much what it is.
It
Because
sounds super intimate. Like it's such a huge dynamic shift between just before that part and just after.
I think
it.
the original idea was no vocals there,
Yeah.
which is kind of what we do a little bit of that now with like more of a build up. He takes more of a solo, and
That's
another
live.
guitarist does a little. That's the live. But when we were in studio, I think we all kind of decided that it would be really great to have that kind of back and forth, really low intensity vocals to lead up to this huge breakdown.
It works really well on the album. It worked really well here as well. You guys somehow got this huge song and you put it onto a couple guitars and a couple vocals, and it translates super well. Can't wait for you guys to listen to it. So here is Red and Green by Pulitzer Prize Fighter.
You are so good at keeping me at arm's length, feeling like you're well worth the wait. But wait a minute. I know you hate to get in it, but whenever we fight, it's about how I lose, not how you win it. You stop every thought before I begin it. Don't fat it up till we're. It's not the heat of the fire that burns, it's more how you spit it. And you do, you keep making plans, cause we plan till, why don't you just quit it? Soft-spoken secrets in the back of the Subaru. The two of you were making plans, whispering, holding it, trying not to keep it in the back of the Chevy. Why are you so cavalier? This is heavy for a one-night stand. But on the other hand, you are no good at timing the excuses you say, at telling me you wanna stay. But say you didn't. I know you hate to relive it, but whenever we get this close, it's always at your limit. A little unorthodox, but I'll permit it. Though I'm man enough to admit it. It's not the facts in the case that win it. It's more how you spin it and you do not falter. It's the little things and they keep getting smaller. Soft-spoken secrets in the back of the Subaru. The two of you were making plans, whispering, holding hands, trying hard to keep it in the back of the Chevy. Why are you so cavalier? This is heavy for a one-night stand. But on the other hand, but on the other hand, smoking secrets in the back of the Subaru. And I'm trying hard just to forget about you. So I'm smoking secrets in the back of the Subaru. And I'm trying hard just to forget about you. Smoking secrets in the back of the Subaru. The two of you were making plans, whispering, holding hands, trying hard to keep it in the back of the Chevy. Why are you so cavalier? This is heavy for a one-night stand. Smoking secrets in the back of the Subaru. The two of you were making plans, whispering, holding hands, trying hard to keep it in the back of the Chevy. Why are you so cavalier? This is heavy for a one-night stand. But on the other hand, on the other hand, on the other hand.
All right, that was Red and Green by Pulitzer Prize fighter. Welcome back. We're going to be talking about your guys' choice. This is off your newest record. This came out in December of last year, 2016. In case you're watching this in 2020, in case we're like really popular by then and you're looking through the back catalog, just remember these guys were on the ground floor.
Yeah.
So this song, I'm really interested to know about how the recording process changed from the first record that Red and Green was on to this record, because things sound a little bit tighter, a little bit cleaner, a little bit more gelled.
Should hope so.
So how'd the recording process go for Marcello's?
So that was fun. The second EP, we record at our drummer and our lead guitar player. Their dad is named Gary, and Gary's this awesome dude.
They're brothers?
They're brothers.
Yeah, they're the worst.
So there's a family affair. They're the worst.
They are. They're the worst.
But so their dad is Gary, and Gary's a great guy, and Gary has been cool enough to with me kind of like build a little bit of a studio in terms of like gear and some acoustic treatment and things like that, and we have this thing in his office, and it's got nice desk, and we have a nice computer and a rack of some decent mic pre's and things like that. So first EP was recorded when we were kind of in the building stage of that, of like, and when I say building, like, we're not ripping down walls, we're just just putting together the gear, putting everything together in terms of like our mic locker and stuff like that. So first EP, we had one mic pre, one 8-channel mic pre that we used on everything, and the recording process was pretty much, I think we did use a click for almost all the material on the first EP. And we thought it went well. The only unfortunate thing is that we put really tight time constraint on the whole thing. So we got to the point where we had spent a good amount of time tracking, and then we were like, okay, let's mix this thing and let's do it in a 48-hour period. So me and Gary,
You mixed this in 2 days?
yeah, me and Gary sat down and we're just like, all right, let's just bang this shit out, because it was just like at that point we were just all beat and we were tired and we just wanted to get it done.
This is after like a week or two of like 12-hour day recordings. Like this he was
It sucked.
the one person who was there at all times was Call.
And it sucked.
It
And my girlfriend fucking hated it. And it was so bad. But so we mixed this thing on a weekend. Me and Gary pulled an all-nighter. We did 24 hours.
Yeah.
And we stayed up we worked into the morning. And it was just, I had my white Jeep, which will come up later. I had my white Jeep out in front of the house, and after we had this weird kind of like resonant frequency that kept coming up. It was just this little notch in the really kind of low 100 hertz, 175 hertz. It was just obviously our monitors weren't tuned right. So the thing is that when we'd go to the Jeep, we'd hear this boominess in the bass kind of section. The low end that we would always end up notching out.
And eventually it's all you could hear.
Pretty much, yeah. So
That's all you were focusing on.
Yeah, so we ended up notching that out, but man, it was just mix, get something good. Go to the Jeep, listen to it, make sure it's good. If it wasn't, go back, fine tune, and then just put the shit out. And that was it. That was the whole recording thing. We did live drums.
Used Axe Effects for the guitars for all of them, right?
Yeah, Axe Effects was all the guitars, no live guitars.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's a really good product they put out, actually.
Yeah,
good.
Colin, the guitar player, he's that is his.
He's added that to his
thing.
live gig, hasn't he?
Yeah,
That's what he
that's
uses.
his baby.
Yep. Yeah, he uses a 2x12
Uses that as like a
and
pre, and then
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
MIDI foot switch and everything.
2x12 MIDI foot switch, and then a solid state power amp, and then the 2x12 by Port City. So he uses all that stuff, and that's his kind of thing. So he can replicate the album tones pretty quickly. But that was. It was tough because that was a brand new unit, so we were just recording through that for the sake of expediency, and we didn't really know exactly how to use it properly.
No.
So
and that was for Red and Green.
that was for everything.
For everything on
For
the
everything.
first, yeah. Except for Up on a Shelf. That didn't have
Up
any-
on the Shelf was weird.
that was...
And
That came off a previous thing, didn't it?
no, that was literally me and Gary were done mixing, and
We decided
we were
needed
like,
a song.
let's add a new one, let's add another one, and so we
Fuck
just
it.
banged that out.
in like a day or
That
two.
was a
That's a great song.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I actually really like the digital drums in the beginning, everything like that. It really.
I had nothing to do with it.
And then Ryan comes in.
I showed up and they were like, "Oh yeah, we got this new song." I was like, "Oh, word."
Yep.
Great.
Yeah.
Do you need me to put some vocals on it? No, we're good.
We're good.
Yeah.
Oh.
I showed up while they were finishing up vocals, and I walked in the bathroom, and all I could hear was you screaming the harmony downstairs, like just hitting this high note at this volume that I could not understand why I could hear it so clearly in the bathroom.
Gross.
And I was like, "Man, what are you guys doing down there?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, we wrote a fifth song." So
Yep.
it was a weird process.
Good to know. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks for letting me know.
So in summation, first EP was kind of chaotic. There wasn't much planning. It was just kind of like let's just finish.
Well,
this.
you had some songs and you said we need to record these songs. Let's get these songs done,
Yep.
and then you put something together around the songs to get
Yeah.
it done.
Yep.
The second album was more.
Methodical.
Yeah.
Let's get this right. Let's work through this in a more like you probably had a whiteboard for that song where you actually cross things out as you recorded it.
No whiteboard and no expo marker, so
Yep, that's really it.
and everything that is on it is like permanently on there. It's just like
Mental calendar.
mental
But
whiteboard.
so the second EP was it wasn't easier because it was more methodical, but we reamped everything. We reamped we reamped guitars live. We did we had a treasure trove of drum stem playlists and stuff that were all piecemealed. So that was a more methodical process. It was we tracked everything, individual instruments at the same time, so drums were drums until they're done, guitars were guitars until they're done, bass was bass until they're done. So it was like mics weren't moving, mics weren't being put elsewhere, because we found like we had songs on the first one, and it's clear when you listen that like the drums sound like this and then they sound like something completely different. So it's like we wanted to avoid that.
Inconsistencies that we wanted to avoid.
But the second one was fun.
Yeah.
The second one was good.
I'm actually when you first told me earlier that this was all done in your place, like in a house and not in a studio, like a purpose-built studio, I was amazed because this sounds like a professional studio record.
Sweet.
Thank you.
I mean, it's tight. The drums all sound really big and really sharp and punchy.
Cool.
The bass in this song sounds great. And was there anything specific with that, or was it just technique?
So Ryan is. You ever seen There Will Be Blood?
Oh yeah.
So Ryan.
If you had a milkshake right now, I'd drink it.
I have a straw that reaches into your milkshake.
It's the most unintentionally funny movie
Yeah.
ever. Yeah.
But Ryan fancies himself he's kind of a dynamo in terms of like he goes through a lot of gear and he buys stuff and sells stuff, and he's really good with all that stuff. And one of the things that he found on Craigslist was just this super solid deal on a Music Man bass, like this really nice Music Man bass, and he got it for like it was like $500 or $600. It was just this really nice 4-string Music Man, this beautiful bass. So that's the bass that we've been using. That's what we've used on the records.
Just direct in with that.
So we have this Mark bass
Okay.
amp, and that has a really nice DI out. So I think we use that for most everything into a mic pre, or into just the neutral end of a mic pre, just to actually.
I love the sound of the bass on this. It's mid-rangey and punchy, but it still obviously sounds like a bass.
Pick bass. I mean, that's really what it was. It was
Yeah.
pick bass and just a little
dig in.
little EQ and just a lot of digging in.
So who wrote the lyrics to the song?
This was a collective approach.
I think Pat wrote the chorus.
I wrote the chorus,
Yep.
and then I wrote the first part of the verse, and then the rest was more of a.
How are we gonna close the loop on the
Yeah.
story? That was really what it was, though, because it was good, because it was the first part of the song. It was like, okay, we're doing this, and then the second part of the song was like, this needs an ending. How would we want it to end?
Yeah.
I would want it to end good for us, and maybe not so good for the other person.
Yeah.
But
So what do you have against Mia Wallace? What is Mia Wallace, Marcellus? This is based on
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction, yeah.
Well, the name is based off Pulp Fiction. This is just we were writing this song as a standalone. It was kind of a shared experience of infidelity and confusion and getting your life back together after a bombshell discovery. Similar, and Call came up with the name because it just kind of fits so well with how it worked out. I don't know.
she's cold. She plays a lot of angles.
Yeah.
She's like Tommy Rocky Hara didn't fuck me. He just rubbed my feet, and he didn't throw.
Still got thrown out of a four-story window.
He didn't throw him out of a window because of that. But she played that angle to get something from Marcellus, and it's just she's just cold and calculating. And the thing is that. The first verse is basically you're a decent dude. You have your vices, but you're just this decent dude that is in a relationship, and you end up coming home to this thing, and what the hell is what's going on immediately, and then she basically, according to your chorus, just basically says fucking just deal. It's all good. It's all good for me. I don't know, but just deal with it. It's what the fuck? I'm not gonna do that.
I think a lot of the song has to do with taking a situation like that where you're being cheated on, you don't know about it. You know it's happening, but you don't. It's hard to confirm that for yourself because of what do you do after that? But I think the point of it is approaching it from either angle and realizing that those decisions don't happen in a vacuum, and that in a lot of cases it isn't black and white. It's this this made me feel that way and this made me feel that way, and you can justify your actions. There are 1,000 different ways to justify your actions, but at the end of the day, that that kind of burden it's heavy, you know. It's
Yeah.
it's a heavy thing, you know.
And it's how you deal with it.
Yeah,
You
it
can't
is.
expect the other person to necessarily change. So it's how you deal with it. And the second verse is about how
you deal with
you
it.
deal with it. And the way we thought would be a good way to close the loop and bookend that kind of like mentally traumatic event was just to be like, fuck it. We're gonna go
Hitting the studio.
we're gonna go to the
Getting back in the booth.
right. We're gonna go on a cruise. We're gonna go on a blunt cruise, and we're going to put on our newly recorded music, and we're gonna show it to one of our friends and just drive around because and hopefully they'll like it, and you're riding shotgun in their car and you're listening to the new music, and that's how you're gonna deal. So that I think is the whole. I think that's most of it.
Yeah, I would say that's. I mean, it's just.
I think
very-
it's a good way to deal with it too.
It is a good way to deal with it. It's taking something that's taking a very negative experience and turning it into this creatively positive experience, and something that we were aiming at with this EP is having a sense of catharsis through, just kind of like these fast tempo, just party songs that just
Yeah, you guys really picked up the pace on the second EP.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, you can only do so much with 5 songs, but I think the goal of it was to have something that the goal of this EP was to have something that is an emo band, but in a way that like makes you want to dance, makes you want to smile. Because when I was, I've played in a couple bands and a couple emo bands, and I know you guys have too. And one thing that I noticed with being in those bands is you can't smile, and you just kind of just have to stand there and just sing these sad songs sometimes.
Yeah.
And what I wanted out of this band was I wanted something that you could dance to and be, you could have this kind of negative feeling with this sort of sense of catharsis, but it's all in the frame of like having a good time and dancing around and bobbing your head, headbanging. And that was kind of the goal of this, I feel, for me anyway.
Yeah, you guys really blend those two kind of things together. You're really good at writing these really tight technical songs, but you make them accessible to people so that if they just want to dance and bob their head and enjoy the music, they can do that. But if they want to dive a little bit deeper and really listen to it, they can get a totally different sense of emotion from the songs. You guys really walk that line very, very well.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
That's the goal. That's what
sick.
we're trying to do.
And it's important for me. One of my favorite drummers, Gavin Harrison. He's a drummer for Porcupine Tree. He's one of the best prog rock drummers out there, and he does all this crazy 7/4 offbeat kind of stuff. But he goes, if you're playing all these beats and the audience isn't able to just go like this, then you're not doing
That's
it
the
right.
point, yeah.
So this is a great song. It's a really good EP. Do you guys have a plan for an LP? I know you just put this out.
In the future, yeah. I mean, I'd like to go back to our first EP and re-record some stuff, and then we've been working on some new stuff recently that we're hoping to get down. But
Are you playing that stuff live?
Not yet. We're still just right now we have 2 synthesizers that we kind of have to figure out logistics for, and it's
We added synth. That's the other thing. We
Yeah.
started adding keys.
That's right. Yeah.
New to the album.
The synth work on this album is like super classy. It doesn't like overtake like a lot of times when people get a new toy.
Yeah,
They're like, let's go crazy with it. But you guys
Make
still
a new order record. And it's like, what?
But you guys figured out like you're a guitar rock band.
That's true.
Primarily.
That's true.
Yeah.
You have 3 guitars.
Yeah,
Right.
you're right.
There's no avoiding that.
But the synth adds a nice little sheen to the top
Yeah,
of things,
I would
especially with
agree.
this song actually.
Yeah.
So this is Marcellus Wallace's Wife by Pulitzer Prize fighter.
White car, black kicks, enough money to buy some weed with, another couple dollars to see who she's with. I'd empty my pockets to get to the bottom of this. Pulled up your crib, trying to find out where she keep the keys in. Slid it in the lock just to see if it'd fit. Don't take a genius to know exactly what you did. She said, you'd be surprised where you can live with, sweetheart. You just need to be as flexible as we are. It's not always black and white, but there's gray in your hair. You want it all. No, not at all. So apropos, so intimate, but I'll admit it's just a little adjustment, just a little bit when you can't resist. But built out the lyrics, I almost can hear it on stage. This time I have to go, I'm done with it, calling it quits. I got plans with the homies in a little bit shotgun in the front seat, while the demo plays on repeat. You've been distant. So distant with every single thought inside your head. And she said, you'd be surprised what you can live with, sweetheart. You just need to be as flexible as we are. It's not always black and white, but there's gray in your hair. You want it all. No, not at all. You'd be surprised where you can live with, sweetheart. You just need to be as flexible as we are. It's not always black and white, but there's gray in your hair. You want it all. No, not at all.
Do you snap with your middle finger? I snap with my ring finger.
Snap with my middle.
Middle.
Oh, yeah?
Can you do
feel like
this?
Is that with your ring finger?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucked up. I can.
It just
sort of.
sounds, I don't know, it sounds
Can you do
bigger. No, I can't. No, I can't do that nonsense.
What up?
Welcome back. That was Marcellus Wallace's Wife by Pulitzer Prize fighter. We're here with Pat and Colin.
Call. That's the differentiating
Call the police.
Up next we have.
Sorry for that.
Up next we have these guys playing Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears. I love having artists that are primarily original artists that play their own songs. I love having them come in here and choose a cover song to play because I think it gives a little bit of insight into the band, what kind of music they like. Why did you guys choose Everybody Wants to Rule the World?
Because it's dope.
It's a good
Song
song.
is dope.
It's a great song.
Yeah.
That's really what it
I've
is.
loved this song my entire life.
Me too.
And I've always wanted to cover it. I mean, I think what won me and Call over with it is just the tight polyrhythm that is through the entire song. It grooves so hard and so naturally that it's just one of those things that you can't not bob your head to.
Yeah, this is one of those songs that just proved to me that the job of the drummer is never easy.
Yeah.
Even in like the most poppy of songs, the drummer is still playing some pretty intricate stuff usually.
Yeah,
Like,
it's crazy.
I was watching a video of Sarah Bareilles.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
totally. I'm seeing her at Boston Calling.
There's a song, I Choose You. It's like a wedding song, basically.
Yeah.
The drum beat to that is unbelievably complicated.
Oh yeah, man.
And
Pop songs like that, like we were talking to Colin about that Vanessa Hudgens song. If I can.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, whatever, 1,000 miles.
1,000 miles, yeah.
The hi-hat work in that song is incredible. Like, that drummer was nasty, and I never think of it in that sense,
and it's that little stuff that really brings those songs
Yeah,
to another level.
definitely.
That unfortunately nobody focuses on. There was Vanessa Carlton. That's what it was,
Carlton.
Hudgens.
What's that? Who's she?
The OC.
I don't think so.
I think she was. I think she was a wizard in Harry Potter. Sounds like a wizard in Harry Potter.
Maybe. I don't know.
Vanessa Hudgens.
Well, when you say it like that, yeah, I guess so.
Oh yeah, if you say anything like that, it sounds like it's from Harry Potter. Yeah. So you guys just performed this for me, and you guys killed this song, man. Like I love the arrangement of just the acoustic and the electric guitar on there, and you nailed the solo on it in the tone. Do you think this song takes on a little bit different of a meaning nowadays with the current situation?
I would agree. I would say so.
Yeah, like the Turkish president Erdogan just had his guys beat up a bunch of our guys.
Bunch of
random-
just people.
Yeah,
And that was cool.
Because I
Apparently.
think he wants to rule the world.
People.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody. I mean, I think it's appropriate in terms of who is currently running the world and who is in the running for who might end up ruling the world. Like, I think isn't it Dwayne the Rock Johnson?
Yeah.
Rock the Dwayne
He's throwing some
Johnson
stuff out
is,
there. Yeah.
He's thinking about
2020.
It's just it's a weird. It's
And
a
as
weird
long as he
political
sings
climate.
"You're Welcome" by as Maui from Moana,
Yeah,
he's all set. He'll win in a landslide.
Get all the
He'll get all the 3-year-old votes.
but
They can vote, right?
yeah, I mean, I think we well, according to Trump, they voted.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that committee. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I mean, I think this song, other than being just like a dope song, it really gets to the heart of the political climate nowadays, and the idea of I think in the wake of Roger Ailes' death, it's really important to understand that modern news coverage is very much about the public wanting to feel informed rather than wanting to be informed. That was his motto. People want to feel informed, not be informed. And I think this song gets to the heart of that in a big way. There are a lot of lyrics like one headline, "Why Believe It? Everybody Wants to Rule the World," and things like that. I think it really touches down with what's going on in America and in other parts of the world where they're having autocratic sort of issues.
What's crazy about this song is like so many other great songs. It was a one-off. It was They came into the studio one day and he played those 2 chords, and they just wrote this whole song around it quickly.
Yeah.
It became their biggest song, and kudos to them. It's a timeless song because of it.
It's always how it happens.
Yeah.
And
That's the things that come together so quickly, just because they happen so organically,
Yeah.
so naturally.
so here is Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears, as done by Pulitzer Prize fighter.
Welcome to your life. There's no turning back. Even while we sleep, they will find you acting on your best behavior. Turn your back on Mother Nature. Everybody wants to rule the world. It's my own design. It's my own remorse. Help me to decide. Help me make the most of freedom and of pleasure. Nothing ever lasts forever. Everybody wants to rule there's a room where the light won't find you. Holding hands while the walls come tumbling down. When they do, I'll be right behind you. So glad they almost made it. So sad they had to fade it. Everybody wants to rule the world. I can't stand this indecision, married with a lack of vision. Everybody wants to rule say that you'll never, 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 never need it. One headline, why believe it? Everybody wants to rule the world. All for freedom and for pleasure. Nothing ever lasts forever. Everybody wants to rule the world.
Tell everybody how can they find your music, how can they get it, and how much does it cost? Because it should cost something. You guys put a lot of work into this.
Well,
Don't actually say that. Just how can they find your music? Where are you? How can they find out more about you?
Bandcamp,
Yep.
iTunes.
you can buy it from there.
You can buy it from there. Spotify. You can listen if you.
You can stream it.
Yeah, stream it.
Yeah. SoundCloud.
SoundCloud.
We got some videos on YouTube. Some live videos of us playing Middle East Downstairs, and just some other fun little videos. But you can listen to our music there. You can check us out in terms of social media on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Our handles are at P Prizefighter.
That's for both Twitter and Instagram.
For Twitter and Instagram.
And we don't have a band Snapchat.
I think Dan has a Snapchat that
Dan
comes
has
up as
one.
Pulitzer
I
Prize
just got
fighter.
Snapchat. I can't figure it out.
We send some funny stuff. Well, Dan sends some funny stuff. But
See,
I think,
I'm not privy to that. I have no idea what's
I
happening.
think Dan's
on that.
username
Bothers
is
me.
something about at Pulitzer Prize Fighter. So I hope he doesn't forget that that is our name is tied to that, and he sends some weird Friday night.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, I know.
He's not gonna do that. He's not gonna do that.
All right, you can find him on Bandcamp, Spotify, and SoundCloud.
Basically.
I'm going to put all those links right down here. I guess on YouTube you can point down, and that means that you look down there, right down here, in the subscribe button. If you like the show, the subscribe button's over here. I don't know. I could be pointing at nothing.
I feel like it's like bottom.
Is it over there?
What is this? Stage right?
It's over there.
Here.
I'm not going to engage in
I don't
this.
go on the YouTubes too often.
Pointing's rude. So that is Deep Dive Episode 3 with Pulitzer Prize Fighter. Guys, thanks for coming.
Appreciate it.
And we're out.
Yeah.